Well, we've reached a new low. Let's begin. There are of course some people in life who always seem to either want to do things the hard or pointless way. Usually, of course, they end up in some sort of important position in my local council. Well, judging by some of the ridiculous decisions they've made over the years, but unfortunately, this must be some sort of qualifying criteria to work in a council anywhere. Going by this story from The Sun, which surely must be spurred on by the government's whole green agenda, because they say a council wants to actually tear down someone's house and replace it with, wait for it, a psychopath. It's ridiculous, isn't it? It makes me wonder where they get some of their ideas from. Oh yes, hello, you've reached the ridiculous ideas department. Now what part of the government do you work for? The article also says that outraged neighbours have lost their battle to stop the demolition of a perfectly good £300,000 house to make way for a bike path. The 4-bedroom private home, which is less than 20 years old, will be flattened in a leafy suburban cul-de-sac to create a cycle route to a new affordable housing development. The destruction order is part of plans for 45 new social homes next to existing private houses on the outskirts of Cardiff. Families launched a desperate bid to halt the project over privacy and security concerns, with a petition to save number 43 signed by almost 300 people. But the campaigners lost their fight after the pathway in Potpranu, I hope I pronounced that right, suburb of commuter homes, was given the approval by Cardiff Council on Tuesday. Now, of course, don't get me wrong, I could have understood if the building was either fallen to bits, or I don't know, maybe about 50 or 60 years old, and had been empty for some time, maybe even years. But for a council to want to do this, when I'm pretty sure there's actually a bit of a housing shortage going on at the moment, just seems a bit stupid to me, especially as it's only 20 years old and therefore surely has plenty of life left in it. But if that wasn't bad enough, you can see that there's actually 2 other places that they could have presumably put what surely must be an urgently needed psychopath. There's here, which admittedly could go a little bit over the front garden, depending on how wide the cycle lane needs to be. Or there's here, where these 2 garages are, and yes, I know there's still something that needs to be demolished, but surely either one of these places is better than knocking down a perfectly good house, isn't it? And while we're talking about stupid government policies, have a look at this video where they must want to make a whole town drive about as slow as my mum, and she doesn't even drive. Anyway, subscribe for more and I'll see you in the next one.